Yeah, we've been very opportunistic all year, and I'm excited to see those guys. And, not just the guys that are, that were out there last Saturday, but even some other guys getting in there and creating some turnovers, McCarthy and West Wilson. And so it's, it's a little bit of a feeding frenzy, and that's a good thing for us. I'm really proud of the way the guys responded after the first quarter. Western Oregon was, again, I think we were kind of right on in terms of who we thought these guys were. Very, very physical, stout defensive front, made it difficult for us to run the ball. Had to try to find some shot plays, which we did, which I was pleased with. And I think the turnovers and some of the momentum that we got from special teams plays was crucial in this game.
It seemed like Tyler, when he came back in, was a totally different guy altogether. I mean, did you agree with that? I mean, he seemed to really raise his game.
Yeah, I also think some of it, we were trying to establish the run a little bit there and then take some shots down the field, and we had talked about trying to get some rhythm throws for him, and we kind of reminded ourselves of that and got into that mode a little bit. I thought he did a really nice job of operating, I think it's just going to continue to be one of those things. I think he had the best week of practice that he's had in terms of developing that chemistry with his teammates, in particular the wide receivers and tight ends, and I think that's showed up today, and I'm excited to see him make that amount of progress again this next week.
Plan to go to Chris that early, or?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have that conversation like we're going on second series, third series. It's just like we knew we wanted to get him more reps in this game, and we did. And so, yeah, I mean, I think he obviously has a different skill set than Tyler does, and does some things sometimes you scratch your head about, but he usually makes them look okay. But that's what you're going to have. Remember, this kid's 17 years old, so he's going to make a few mistakes, but he's also a very gifted athlete.
Down the stretch in the second half when you were playing him with a lot of the first-team offensive line, is that just to give him a better look?
Absolutely. I think it's important for him to develop chemistry with those guys as well. We're going to need as I've said repeatedly, we're going to need every kid on this roster by the time we get to the end of November. This is a long, grueling season, and any opportunity that we can have to get these guys game experience, I think, is very valuable.
You talk about the D'Agostino block punt, that kind of changed things, even though you only got 3 points.
Yeah, we only got 3 out of that, and that was discouraging. And, had a tough call on a penalty there that was put us in a bind, but. Johnny, it was funny. It was almost like he called his shot. He looked at me. He goes, "I'm going to go," because we didn't have a block called that time. It was we were just forcing the kick, and we usually hover force because I don't want those guys just banging into those shields, especially smaller guys like Johnny. And he kind of looked at me on the way out, and he goes, "I'm going to go," and I said, "Go ahead." So we'll maybe let him do that again sometimes. So it worked out pretty good. I'm just mad at Keon for not getting in the end zone. So that's the way it goes sometimes.
You guys really seem to keep Revis out of the hole.
Yeah, he got that one punt return. I think he got 28 yards on that, and that was really the only significant play that I think he made in the game. I think Johnny did a tremendous job tracking him, and he's a really good football player. I mean, I don't care where you're at. I mean, that guy's been explosive and dynamic and caused problems for people, and so for us to be able to hang a 0 on the scoreboard, that's really hard to do. I've done this a long time. I haven't been a part of very many of those. I mean, even you think back to, okay, was he down or not down? I mean, that right there, that's 6. Okay, that's the difference between a shut, and that's the way it goes. And so it's a huge tribute to our defensive guys, our staff, our players. At the end of the game, we're not playing our ones there, but those guys knew it was important. They wanted to get that shutout, and that's a big deal. And I'm proud of those guys. And like I told them, we got to enjoy it, but we got a tremendous opponent coming in next Saturday.
How impressed are you with this freshman class? Not only Chris, but Marcus Berger. Who's redshirting, but coming up with a fumble recovery. Kevin Cassis, some nice special.
Yeah, Derek Martz, Jacob Hadley. Kind of go down the list. Yeah, I like these kids a lot. I think that they work tremendously hard. They're all smart kids, so they've been able to pick up the system. And you got to watch them though. I mean, it's hard. This starts to get really demanding because you start piling on workouts and school and study table and some of those things, and we've got to be smart about making sure they get their rest and we don't hit that freshman wall too soon. But I like this group of kids and I like this team. I think that they, we're going to have some interesting moments, and they're just a good group of kids that want to scrap and fight, and that's the kind of guys that I want to coach.
Jesse Clark, do you feel like he's getting more comfortable?
I do. I think I really this week his practice habits I thought improved, and I think that showed up in terms of his performance on Saturday. And it's one of the things that we challenge these guys on is find one thing that we can just talk to them about that's going to make sense to them. Hey, you need to do this better this week, and not try to give them 6 or 7 things, but just give them one thing that they can focus on. And you know, I know Coach Ty and myself both had conversations with Jesse this week about improving his practice habits, and I saw an improvement there. And you know, he's a dynamic guy. He does a nice job.
Patrick Carroll with his first extended, did Monty go out?
Monty had a little bit of an ankle roll deal. Could have probably gone back in, but you know, we have a lot of confidence in Patrick. He can play really just about every position on the field, and so that's a luxury to have with a veteran guy like that.
What does a performance like this do for your confidence as Big Sky play approaches here?
Yeah, I think that's important. I don't know that it would have mattered if it was 3-0. You know, I mean, it's about getting that win, and then it's on to the next one. I don't know that you can really put a whole lot into comparing statistics and those kind of things. I think it was important for us to hit some shot plays and find a little bit of a groove at times on offense. I think it was good for us to, you know, make a couple plays on special teams. But this is a completely different animal coming here this next week, and I think this is a real good football team. We're gonna have our hands full, and we're gonna need Bobcat Nation to be loud and proud and come back after halftime.
Was it kind of a game time decision on Chad?
Yes and no. You know, we had actually talked long about this on Tuesday, what we were going to do with him. We let him practice, and then we went into Wednesday. He practiced again on Wednesday, shut him down about halfway through practice on Wednesday. And at that point, we had a conversation and kind of said, hey, you know what? I think we're going to be okay with the guys that we got based on the game plan that we have. Let's shelf him one more week, and I think he'll be, you know, much more ready to go against University of North Dakota.
And Logan Jones getting some action. What
Yeah.
do you say about him?
Logan's a good football player.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's on special teams, returning, covering kicks. You saw he's got a little juice in there at the end of the game as a running back, and so we're happy that he's back with us, and excited to see how he progresses as the year goes on.